Hey everybody, welcome to the final HTML page of our car dealer website, which is the Teams page. So when we're done with this particular demonstration here with this tutorial, this is going to be what your page should look like. We don't have really a container in this one, but we're going to have a couple of sections of people names here, and we're just going to leave this, I think, kind of basic. As opposed to making up people's names and whatnot. We'll worry about stuff like that maybe later. So this one doesn't have any fancy CSS effects. We are going to use JavaScript, and we are going to use one new concept called CSS Grid. So let's go ahead and get started into this file. So our, wrong one. So we have our deals page, which I believe is the most recent one that we have. What we're going to do is the same thing we did with all the other stuff. Make sure you save this page first with Control S, and then go ahead and file and do save as. So this makes a copy of the file, and we're going to call this one team.html. Team.html, we're good. Now, what you should have, remember in our navigation, we have named previously all of the pages, so you have to make sure that whatever you name them in your files right here matches up with what is in your navigation. This navigation should be the same on every page since we've duplicated and started not from scratch, but with a template page already. So that's one of the things that I would like you to make sure that you have. Make sure all that your links in the navigation section actually at this point should now work. So we do not need some things. Basically, we're going to keep everything above navigation, as a matter of fact. So we are going to go and change car dealer deals. This is to car dealers team page. So we are going to then take, and we're going to leave this section header on. We are going to reuse that. And we're going to delete everything below this section header all the way down to our ending div right here for deals container because we don't require it. So that should leave you with navigation and indeed one section header. Let's go ahead and get into our actual page here. So this one is going to be a similar sort of setup, but it's going to have actually some substantial differences that we'll actually not be able to really see in the page until we do the media queries for this. So we're going to go ahead and create a div. Oopsies. And we're going to give this div a class of team-container. So this team container is going to be the thing. We're going to use this twice on here. And in each one of these containers, we're going to have an item. So actually, we're going to have multiple items. So the item that we're going to have inside here is going to be our div again. And that's going to be a class of grid-item. So this is going to be the basis for our CSS grid. Now we already have enough stuff here. Let's go ahead and comment some stuff up. So this one right here is going to be the close of the which is a team container. And this one right here is going to be the close of grid item. I can spell, really, I can. Okay, so that's what we have here so far. Now, our grid item is not actually going to be that intense. There's not going to be a lot of code in here. We don't really need a lot of code in here. So we're going to have one section right here, which is going to be for our image, grid-image. And inside of our grid image, we're going to have, you guessed it, an image tag, and we're going to just go ahead and do source and alt of hashtag as we get finished the CSS or the HTML. I can't think today either, apparently, my goodness. Okay, so we have a grid item, we have a grid image, And we put it in a div so we can resize the container and then just make the image fit inside of the container we have. And then we have an H3, which is going to be, we'll just put name of person. And we're going to have an H4, which is going to be title, person's title. And then we're going to have a paragraph under that, which is going to be, we're just going to say bio, I guess. So we have their name, their title, and then a short biography about them. And that's actually our item. So let's go ahead and pop over into your browser real quick. And let's go ahead and do a person placeholder. We're just going to do person placeholder image and look for the images. And it doesn't really matter which one you use. They're all about the same, to be honest with you. I am just going to use, I think, it doesn't really matter. We'll use this one. I think it looks the best. So if you copy the image address, so remember, image address for this one, and then we're going to pop this into our team page in the SRC. And of course, it's like 4 billion miles long, naturally. So that right there is our grid item. That's the basis for this page. So let's go ahead. We don't need trending deals up top right here. What we need is we're going to call this management team. And then we're going to copy this one. Actually, let's wait to copy this one right here. So inside of each, just for the sake of being able to see this, I think we're going to put 4 of these grid items in there. It's really hard to see some of this stuff without that. So we're going to copy from the top where it says grid item and down to the comment you just made. And we're going to put that in there 3 more times. 1, 2, 3. That's more for me than for you. So let's see where your page should be right now. Let's take a quick look. So this is where we're at right now. We have our management team heading. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4 person pictures with their bios. So that's our 4 items. So I actually don't like that image very much because it has this vector stock thing, but hey, whatever. It's going to be fine enough for what we need to do. So now we have, back in VS Code, we have this whole thing. So we have the, whatchamacallit, the car section header, all the way down to the close of team container. And we're going to just go ahead and we're going to copy that whole thing. All those lines of code. And we're going to put it all on there. So we have, in our second section here, we have, where's it at here? It should be, this is all the way up at the nav, so I missed it. So close of team container, so this will be sales team. And what you can do so you can make it a little easier to see is we'll just go ahead and put sales team and put like a bunch of stars like this. It's a little obnoxious and it doesn't matter how many stars you put, but it's just something that will draw your eye to this as you're going down the page so you don't do what I just did and totally miss it. So that's the HTML for this. Let's take a quick look and make sure you're in good shape. So as we refresh, we have now our management team. And as you scroll down, then you should see sales team with 4 more images like that. So that's where you should be right now. That's the HTML for this team page. For the next video, we will indeed go ahead and go and do the CSS. I'll see you shortly.